The sand shot is a unique shot in golf because there's a club especially designed for it. I'll use this demonstration club to show you. A sand wedge has a real deep bottom here, what we call a flange. And this flange or bottom will push the ball out. See, it'll act almost like a plow. I'll show you. Watch how the bottom of this club pushes the ball out, and the ball just rides on the crest of the sand. That's exactly what happens in a sand shot. To hit a sand shot, take your grip, open the club face up, and align your body left of your target. Your weight will be on the inside of your left heel, and the ball is also off of your left heel. When you hit it, you want to let the club blast the ball up out of the trap. We don't hit down on the ball, nor do you try to scoop it up. This club, remember, is designed to project the ball out onto the green. Establish a nice, secure base. Dig down in there a little bit, where you feel nice and balanced. When you hit the sand shot, you want the club to enter the sand about 2 inches behind the ball. To show you that we aren't thinking about the golf ball when you hit a sand shot, I can hit this muscle man out using the same technique, allowing my sand wedge to do what it's made to do.
Poor little guy.
Now to illustrate just what I said, watch this. I'll let this red sand, I'll try to sweep this sand up onto the green. This will allow the club to do the work, not me. Remember, trust what your wedge was made to do.
My greatest recommendation is that I would say that 95% of the people playing today should never use a wood out of a sand trap. And for this reason, that as the amateur gets into the trap, he will try to help the ball up in the air rather than swinging the club through the back of the ball, letting the loft of the club do the work of raising the ball up over the lip of the trap in front of you. As you can see, I have implanted myself pretty well into the sand trap here. I've dug in fairly well so that I'm sitting down, making sure that my head is absolutely still and the backswing is slow and smooth as can be.
And the sand is, about half of it is down below the surface of the sand. Don't try any kind of a miracle shot. Just make sure that you get the ball out of the sand as far as you can get it. So choke down on the club a little bit and play the ball, play to hit the bit, 2 or 3 inches behind the ball with your club so that you'll get the ball up and out of the sand as far as you can get it. Don't try anything clever, because if you do, you may be right here in the sand yet. So play the ball still forward, not quite as much forward, a very upright swing, but the left leg back so that you can cut the ball a little bit as you come into the ball. You can draw the club across it and sort of semi-blast it, yet hit it down the fairway as far as you possibly can.
A fairway bunker is one of the most difficult shots that we encounter as professionals. But there are certain fundamentals which one can employ that will enable you to get out of the sand trap without much trouble. What I try to do is I try to play the ball forward in my stance, approximately off of the left heel, and what I'm trying to do now is I'm trying to swing the club more with the left arm and the left side. And quite often I'll hit the ball thin, but I'll get the ball out of the trap, and that's the whole idea. If you play it too far back, you have a tendency to dig in with the right hand and the right side, hit it fat, and hit it halfway to the green. So play it forward, keep the left arm and left hand moving.
All right, we're here in a sand trap here by the green, and we have about a 35-foot or 40-foot shot to the pin here. And the thing for the average player is you really just teach them how to get out of the trap every time, because that'll save them strokes. To get close to the hole, you got to practice a lot, like the pros do. But I'm going to try to show you something here that you'll be able to get out of the trap and get the ball onto the green, because so many average players leave the ball in the sand. Now what I do here is I turn my body quite a bit to the left, and I play the ball more up toward the front. Now the reason I turn my body to the left is I want to take the club on the outside of the line here. If you take the club back here, you come into the ball a little too low, you can catch back here, you can catch here, or you'll catch the ball. If you pick it up a little sharper here, you're coming down, it's more like using an axe chopping wood, and you can hit the spot you're aiming at in the trap. It's very important to open your body up so you get the club to flowing through the sand. If you stand square with the ball and you take a big healthy swing, usually you'll dig into the sand, you're going to pop the ball 3 or 4 feet in front of you. So we get behind it here, open up, aim our body to the left, then we open the face of the club here so that it will slide through the sand. We don't want the club to dig into the sand, in other words. Try to catch about 2 inches behind the ball, and the main thing is don't try to hit the ball too hard here. Most people come in here, they try to hit it so hard and take 6 or 7 inches of sand behind the ball, they still don't move it very far. So take very little sand, about 2 inches behind it, just a nice little easy swing, and outside and across, and never turn the club head over this way. Leave the club head that way when you come through. Pick out a spot behind the ball you want to hit and look at that spot and strike that spot.
Time for a little bunker lesson here. I think a few fundamentals, if they're carefully followed, will help your bunker play, because actually the bunker shot is an easier shot than the average player thinks. He shudders over the shot of a bunker shot, but the professionals really don't mind it at all because they know how to do it. And a lot of it's just your technique. And I'm going to run through some of the fundamentals here and see if this won't help your bunker play. First of all, let's draw a line between the hole up to the ball and straight back. This is your intended line. Right, straight through there. Now, here's where you make your changes. Most people will stand up there parallel to that, which we've been teaching in most of the other shots. But in this one, we do something different. We take the whole body in the stance and we bring it around to here. So we have our stance now aiming left, our knees aiming left, our hips aiming left, and our shoulders aiming left. So in other words, I've taken my whole body and brought it around, and I'm aiming left. Now, the difference is I'm going to aim the club still at the hole, and that'll change the club in my grip too, because it'll have to move over to a different position. But the club is aiming at the hole. So now I'm going to swing though on the pattern that my hips are on and my shoulders are on, which means my swing plane is going to be going to the left, like this.
In other words, parallel to your body.
Parallel to my body, right. But I'll go back. What I've done is I've moved everything around. So I'm going to just take a nice swing to the left, stance this way, swing on this line, but the blade is going to be aimed at the hole. So it's going to give me the feeling of a cut shot, and it's going to make me hold my release longer and work my legs. And then what I won't do then is have an early release, which most people that line up square all the way around, they come in and they early release and they stick the club right into the ground. And that's why they're so afraid of a bunker shot. But if you're aiming left, it forces you to swing all the way through to the finish. Now the next thing on the shot is you want to aim about 2 inches behind the ball, come in just behind it about 2 inches, and swing on through. Now by swinging to the left, like I was talking about, it makes you hold your release longer, and that helps you get underneath the ball, and that forces your legs to move. All the professionals have a lot of leg action in their bunker shot. Here, I'll hit one to demonstrate.
Oh, that's a nice looking shot.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, very good shot.
What it allows you to do is to make a full swing and hold your release. I'll do it slow here. Hold your release down in here, so your release is the last minute, and your body, it's very important for your leg action in a bunker shot. Here, I'll hit a couple more here. See how I'm aimed left, my shoulders are left, my hips are left. I'm going to aim about 2 inches behind the ball, take it straight back. Really, it feels straight to me, but it's actually looking open only because I'm going aim to the left. And finish the swing.
I noticed you really didn't change your tempo very much, Al. I see a lot of players that get in there and they just blast. They think, well, I have to blast this out of there. And they take a real hard explosion type of shot through there. And they don't maintain any balance or anything. How important is that?
Well, I think by swinging properly, they don't have to swing as hard. What I mean by that is aiming left and holding that release. They're saving that power and using it at the last moment, where if you line up square to the hole, like we've been telling you the other shots to do, you don't do it on this one. What happens is they release their power early and they just stick it right in the ground. So then the next step is to avoid that, and they speed it up real quick to try and get by. But if you hold your release for a long time, which is true in just about any golf shot, you'll save that power to the last moment, and it doesn't really look like you swing very hard. The ball flies out, and it's amazing the backspin they have, because you've held that angle in here like this, and the club comes down at a sharp angle and puts a lot of backspin on it.
Notice when you set up there, Al, that's a fairly flat lie there, that you set up with the your clubs at 90 degrees to your slope there, which is, it's a tiny bit uphill, I think, but you don't put your hands way ahead on this shot, do you?
Right. I think it's important, and something that I even make the mistake of is when you have an uphill or a downhill lie. A flat lie, you probably would naturally do it. Your club will be about 90 degrees to the flat lie, where on the uphill lie, you want to keep the same way so that you swing, you might say, even with the hill rather than going straight into the hill or something like that. And so on a downhill one, picture that you are on a downhill lie, and then picture your club being about 90 degrees.
I see.
Then you'll keep a consistent circle or a consistent arc coming through the sand. You won't be coming up too fast or down too steep. Then another important thing about bunker play is to practice, because it's a feel shot. Actually, there's a lot more room for error in a bunker shot. You can hit an inch behind it, 2 inches, 3 inches. As long as it's a good swing and your legs are working, the ball will come out.
Here we see a visual aid illustrating a setup 90 degrees to the slope of that bunker. The club is set on that 90 degrees, his body is set on the 90 degrees, and he maintains that through his swing. Here you notice the club is set right parallel to that 90-degree slope.
I notice the hands set a little earlier, a little full set here. Now again, you maintain that set for a long time in the bunker.
The body's set at 90 degrees here also. This allows you to come in from down low, working up through the ball and bringing it out.
And you move the legs. Maybe not quite as much, but those legs have